Okay. All right. Good morning, and happy Sunday if you're watching live. And if you're watching the replay, welcome, welcome. Come on in. I am just making sure everything is working and waiting for a comment to make sure it's all good. We'll get started in just a minute. So if you're watching the replay, just hang in there with me for a moment. Good morning, Linda. Hello, Keisha. Good morning, Crystal. How is everybody doing? Happy weekend. Happy Sunday. I'm going to sip my coffee for a moment because this is coffee and a card. So I need to have my coffee. Good morning, Sonia. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you so much. All right. Looks like we've got some friends joining live. It's Sunday, August 7th. Hello, Jamie. My friend Jamie is in Peru. I hope you are enjoying your trip. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Natalie. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's so nice to see all my friends' names popping up. If you're watching for the first time, please leave a comment to let me know that you're a first-time watcher so we can all welcome you. And also, if you're watching the replay, pop that in the comments as well. You'll see a little banner at the bottom of the screen. If you click on that, you will see that there's some different links there. One is to join my mailing list. One is to, if you are interested in any of the products that I'm going to be sharing today, there's a link to my online store and a few other goodies over there. So I'm going to remove that just so that you can see full screen what I'm going to be doing. All right. So for those that don't know me, my name is Zara Premji, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I like to call myself a creative coach from Markham, Ontario, Canada. And I have been stamping and card making for almost 10 years. And one of the things that I realized about stamping very early on was that it was a hobby that fit really perfectly into my busy mom life. So I had 2 young kids at the time that I was introduced to card making. I was working full time, and I was really finding no time for myself or creativity or to just do anything fun, really. I can't say I wasn't doing anything fun, but you may appreciate that during that time in your life, your focus is really on just kind of taking care of the kids, bath time, bedtime, school, work, all the things. So when I was introduced to card making, I just felt so much excitement and joy over being able to make my own handmade cards and being able to send them to people. And very quickly learned that I really loved sharing it with other people. So I loved being able to teach others to make their own cards and to inspire them to go and take time out for themselves and to create. And so that's been ongoing for the last almost 10 years. And I've been doing these lives, I think probably now for 2 years. I started them at the beginning of the pandemic and have really come to love my time with all of you on Sunday mornings. And so today I'm going to be sharing a simple card. And I did put in my description earlier that I was going to tell you why sometimes hoarding your cards is sometimes a good thing, because you just never know what might happen with some of those cards. So I'm going to tell you a little story, and I'm going to share a paper crafting or card making tutorial with you. I'm going to be featuring product in our new, I won't say new, it's the July to December mini catalog. It's been out for a while now, but there are some products in there that are new to me because I had ordered them but not used them. So I'm going to be sharing with you a card that is featuring the Rustic Harvest Suite. And there's a little bit of a story behind why I've kind of chosen fall products. So I don't know if any of you know, but I just celebrated a birthday this week on Wednesday, August 3rd. I turned 47. And I've been noticing over the last little while that I know that it's summer and that there's lots of heat, but I'm also certain that I'm starting to experience hot flashes. And so this whole week I've just been like so hot. I can't crank the AC high enough, can't get cool enough, drinking all sorts of cold water and everything. But so today I thought I'm going to take a break from summer stuff and I'm going to move into fall, because I figure if I kind of start to think fall thoughts, maybe I'll start to feel cooler, if that makes any sense. Also, the products in this suite are super cute, but it just made me chuckle this morning that I was like, oh my God, maybe this will make me feel a little less hot to not do or think anything summery. So can any of you relate? Are any of you experiencing that? Like even just from the heat? I like summer, but oh, it's so uncomfortable sometimes to be so hot. So let's talk a little bit about this suite. And certainly, if you have any questions, comments, if there's anything that I can help with, please pop them in the comments below. Even if you're watching the replay, you can pop that in the comments. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up or a heart. And also, if you want to share this with your friends and family, if you think that they might enjoy some crafty tutorials as well. So let me tell, okay, hold on. Betty says, my birthday is the same day as her grandson. Oh, fellow Leo, thank you. And happy belated birthday to your grandson. I had a fantastic birthday. I might tell you a little bit about that as I am moving through the card making tutorial. Keisha, you're my sister, man. I love winter and I'm cold, not a fan of heat. I like summer. I think I like being off for the summer, and I like kind of the more chill and slower pace of summer, but oh man, the heat is really getting to me. Thank you, Julie. Merci. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this suite. So if you have the mini catalog, it's on pages 48 and 49. And if you're kind of new to Stampin' Up! Products, one of the things that they've been doing over the last few years is they have these suite collections, okay? So suite, not S-W-E-E-T, but S-U-I-T-E. So it's a collection of products that they've put together that coordinate really well together, but can also be used with other products as well. So the Rustic Harvest Suite, there's one code if you want to order everything in it, and that is kind of like one price. So you still get a 10% discount on the bundle pricing, which is over here. And then they kind of just put everything else into it together. So if you know you want each of the products on the other page, then you can just use that one code and you will get everything in it if you'd like it. There are also codes for the individual products as well. So you can absolutely order them individually. And I'll tell you what's included in them. So first we have the Hello Harvest bundle. So this is a cling stamp set. So it's got the red rubber stamps. And I'm actually going to show you really quickly how I have been mounting the stamps onto the stickers onto the stamps. Okay, so just a really quick hack for some of you that might be a bit newer to stamping. I'll show you with one stamp, so it won't take very long. And then we have the rustic pumpkin dies. So there are 11 dies in here, and as is often the case with our die sets, they have a few that will cut out images in the stamp set. So for example, there's this really cute banner one that can cut out that banner greeting there. And then we've got one for the pumpkin that you can stamp and color if you'd like. And then we've got one for the floral arrangement and a few others that cut out the images. And then we've got some detailed dies that you can use to add detail to your card. So we've got this one here, which is actually like a pumpkin that will cut and emboss. It's part of the pumpkin. And this will cut and emboss at the same time. So it gives some texture and will cut out the outline. So we're going to be using those today. And oh goodness, I did bring my cut and emboss machine. I thought I might have forgotten it, but it's a little far away. Hang on. I usually forget it on the other side of the room, but today it's close to me, but just not close enough. Okay, so that's the first thing. So you can order the stamp set individually or the dies, or you can order them together and get 10% off the bundle. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning, Barbara. Hello, hello. Oh, you're getting a respite from the heat for the day. Oh my goodness, I need the respite. We also in this suite have this gorgeous designer series paper. I'm going to actually move my catalog so that you can see it properly. And we're going to be using some of this on the card today, but I just wanted to show you one of the things that I really love about this paper is that, of course, on one side, we've got these gorgeous fall patterns and colors, but on the other side, we have black and white. So on this one here, you've got some pumpkins. And then on the other one, there's this really cute diagonal stripe. It almost looks like they've been hand drawn. And then we have this gorgeous crushed curry, beautiful warm yellow tone. And then on the back, we've got this one here with the leaves and the acorns. And then we've got this really nice pattern here. This is a really good one if you want to kind of like cover your entire card with this, or even just do some framed art. It's beautiful. And then on the back, we've got this small pattern here. So all the black and whites on the opposite sides of the ones with the color. And then we've got this one here. I think this might be my favorite black and white pattern, and I'm using it on the card today. So we've got here the pumpkins and some squash and some leaves. And then on the back, we have this foliage, the black and white. So it's so beautiful. And then, okay, so I'm not gonna lie. If I had to pick a color that is not my favorite in the whole Stampin' Up! Array of colors, I would have to say that it's Cajun Craze. I'm just not a huge fan of it. But it's growing on me, and I feel like for fall it is an important color. It needs to stick around. On the back of this one, we have these leaves. I do like the dots on here, so I'm not going to lie. I will use this paper. And then lastly, we have this one here, and I think this might be garden green. I'm not 100% sure. On the back of the paper, it'll always show you. Oh no, sorry, it's Mossy Meadow. It'll always show you the colors that coordinate with it. So we've got that one, and then we've got this really cool diamond pattern. So that's the paper that's also included in the suite, and it's called Rustic Harvest. And then the last thing I'm going to show you, or maybe the second last, there's also this leaf label and amber gem combo pack. And the last thing I'm going to show you that's included in the suite but can be purchased separately is an embossing additions toolkit. So for those of you that have watched at least one or two videos from me before, you will know that I love heat embossing. And I'm going to be doing it today on the video as well. In this embossing tools addition kit, there is it's called an embossing buddy. So this is what removes the oil from your cardstock, or, just prevents you from getting like natural oils from your fingers and that kind of thing onto your cardstock. Then we have this really cool tweezer tool. So this is really good for holding your, whatever it is you want to heat emboss so you don't burn your fingers. Then we've got this brush here, so if you want to brush away any of the excess powder once you pour it on. And then we've got an awesome tray. So we've got this tray where you can take your cardstock, pour the powder over it, and then you just unscrew this little piece here and you put it back in your little container. So because we didn't have this for so long, I was using little containers to put my embossing powder in. So I have continued to do that system, but I will probably shift towards using that tray at some point because it's super cool. Okay, so you probably want to see the card that we're going to be making today, and I am going to just tell you where the inspiration of my card came from. So I was cleaning up the basement. We had home renovations a while back, and I am starting to kind of sift through some of the boxes, and I came across a box with a bunch of cards. So I do tend to send out cards, but then I also tend to put, like when I do Facebook Lives or card classes, things like that, I put the samples all in a bin. Okay, so I had this bin full of cards, and I came across this card. So this is one I had done last year. I had done it for a class, and I loved the layout. I loved the colors of it, but this layout was the jumping off point for my card today. So this is where sometimes when you have a stash of cards and you're coming to, you're wanting to make a card, it's helpful sometimes to go through cards you've made in the past or cards you've received from swaps or that kind of thing, because you can get a lot of inspiration from there. So this is the card that I got my inspiration for today's card from. And look away if you don't want to see the card, but here is the card that I'm going to be showing you today. Okay. So this is the same layout, obviously a different card, different suite, and different colors, but I also, you can see the similarities in the way that I've done the designer series paper. So without further ado, let's get started with the card making. I've got my materials here. I always prep these in advance, but I will tell you that if you have a trimmer and you have your own cardstock, it is not hard at all to prep your own materials. Okay, so this I had cut from one piece of cardstock, so that's going to be my card base. I've got two pieces of basic white cardstock. One is going to be the layer that goes on top of my card, and then because I'm using a black card base, one is going to go on the inside of the card, okay, because you want somewhere to write. I've got a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I'm going to do my pumpkin using this scrap piece of cardstock. And then this one here is for my greeting. Okay, so we've got all the pieces. This is also for the what do you call it? The stem of the pumpkin. I always have word finding difficulties when I'm doing these lives. Actually, I have word finding difficulties more often than that. Okay. The other thing I'm going to show you that I'll be using today is this falling leaves embossing folder. So I'm going to actually start by using my cut and emboss machine to do all these parts. so we can get this out of the way. So when you get your cut and emboss machine, if you don't already have one, you are going to get a platform with it. And so that you're going to use with all of your, anything that you want to die cut. And then when you're using our embossing folders, there's a line, you can see this black line here, and that just allows you to line up your cardstock so that your pattern will come out straight. So I'm gonna actually shift mine a little to the right because I want to get more of the pattern on the cardstock. And then you close that up, and you're also gonna get a specialty plate. So this is a gray plate that comes with your cut and emboss machine, and this is used for when you want to use our 3D embossing folders. Good morning, Chris. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Janice. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Darlene. Thank you for the birthday wishes. So there you go. So I've already run that through, and you can see that beautiful pattern of the leaves. It's so gorgeous. Sometimes I find our embossing folders, you have to really kind of play around with them before you can really get the real beauty of the texture that's on that folder. So when I saw this in the catalog initially, I didn't realize how pretty it was, but now that I own it and I'm playing with it, I love it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the pumpkin. So I'm going to use my crumb cake here, and I'm going to put my, hopefully you guys can see that. Let me see if I can, there we go. Let's brighten that up a little bit. So I'm going to get yes, Janice, it's perfect for classes. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to then put my pumpkin pieces. You'll need one of each. So I'm going to put that down there, and then I'm going to grab this little stem and put that on there. And then I'm going to put my dies down because I don't want to lose them. And I'm just going to run this through the cut and emboss machine. Okay. I agree, Keisha. It's so hard because the embossing folders themselves are like, they're translucent. So they're not even like, there's no contrast. So it's hard sometimes to see the pattern that they create on the catalog pages. Okay, let me show you. Can you see that gorgeous texture that's created on that die cut? So I ran that through once. And so when I was mentioning earlier that it does both embossing and cutting, that's how it looks when you bring it out. Same thing for this smaller piece here. Okay, you can see the texture. And then we also have the stem. Okay, so let me put these back so that I don't lose them. Learn this from experience. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the stamping. And I had mentioned to you that I was going to show you how I mount the stickers on the stamp. So I know that there are some people who just don't want to put the stickers on because they find it to be a little bit of a hassle, or they cannot always position it correctly. So I'm going to show you a little hack for doing that. So I'm going to use, on my sample card, I used a sentiment that says, "You are such a blessing." For this one, I'm going to use the one that says hello. So you can see on the sticker sheet here, there's a hello sticker. So I'm going to peel this right off of the sheet, and I'm going to stick it onto a clear block. Okay. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to grab the hello stamp from my sheet of stamps. Okay. So take that off. And then you're going to peel, there's a backing on the sticker sheet. So you're going to peel that off. And luckily I have really long fingernails, which really need to be cut. So I'm just going to peel that off like so, and then do the same thing with the stamps. You're going to peel that off as well. Now you want to make sure that you've got them kind of going the right way. So I want this upright. I know the H is on this side. And so that way I can align the sticker on the clear block. Actually, I'm going to move it a little down so I can see. So then you can see the outline of the sticker as you're going over the stamp, and then just position it down, put a little bit of pressure, and then you've got your sticker stuck on. Now, when you want to remove it from the block, use your fingernail to just start to break that seal, and then take it off, and you're good to go. Okay, so you've got a stamp that's kind of perfectly, the sticker is perfectly positioned on the stamp. So using that clear block is really, really helpful. I've done it a different way in the past, but I saw this recently and I thought that is so much easier. Okay, so let's do the stamping. I'm going to do some heat embossing. And as I mentioned, I usually just keep my stuff in a container. So, and just because I just opened that toolkit, I'm not going to use it all right now. So I'm going to just use my embossing buddy. And then you also need Versamark ink when you are heat embossing. So I am going to, oh, look at all of you. Everyone was like, it was kind of hidden. I didn't notice it. Janice missed it too. And Janice French is saying, I'm so excited I missed a folder. No wonder. Oh, goodness. Okay. So yes, all of you, add to cart. Okay, so I'm going to take the hello. I've inked it up in Versamark, and I'm just going to stamp it onto my black cardstock. I love heat embossing white on black. I love it. Like, I don't know. You guys probably understand. There's probably certain parts of your card making or paper crafting or just even random things that you do, even if it comes to prepping a meal. There might be like little steps in there or parts of it that just really make you giddy and happy. So heat embossing white on black cardstock makes me giddy. And you know what? I think that's totally fine. Okay, I am going to heat set this. I'm just going to turn on my heat tool. Pardon the noise for a moment. So this is where you may want to use the tweezers if you are kind of close to where you're heat embossing, but because I've got my piece a little bit longer, I'm just going to hold it with my hand. So you can see it starting to brighten, hopefully. All right. So we've got, you can see that it's, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah. It's a little raised and glazed, and it's like just a bright white on the black cardstock. While I'm in stamping mode, I'm going to just stamp this leaf onto the insert for my card, and then we're going to get to our assembly. So I'm going to stamp off once, and then I'm going to stamp onto my cardstock here, and then I'm going to do it one more time, okay? Just so that the insert has a little something something on it. And so that's done. I'll move my stamps out of the way, and we are going to start to assemble. So let me grab my scissors. I'm going to cut this out. And so I hope that this layout is one that inspires you to go out and create a card. It's so simple. It's a great way to use your designer series paper or your pattern paper, whatever you have on hand. Really, really great layout for that, and can be used with so many different stamp sets and products. So go for it. And I always say this, but if just because you may not have what I'm using, that doesn't mean you can't go and create a card. Just go and create a card. Okay. All right. I'll get off my soapbox. Okay. So let's start to assemble. I'm going to take my bone folder here and just tighten up that crease a little bit. And then I'm going to take actually, before I do that, I'm going to splatter a little bit of black ink onto that cardstock piece, okay? So I'm just taking my black Stampin' Write marker, and I'm just going to flick it against the cap here, more on the right side because most of the left side is going to be covered with designer series paper, but I'll put a little bit just for good measure. Okay. So that's going to go there, and then I'm going to stick this down onto my card base here, okay? I have to tell you, I love black and white with a pop of color. So if this is your jam, you are going to love this card. All right, so I'm sticking that down. So this weekend, well, I told my husband this is my birthday week. I'm not actually a diva, but I was like, I just feel like I should have a whole week to celebrate my birthday. I'm choosing to have a whole week to celebrate my birthday. And so anyways, I went for lunch with my mom on my actual birthday. We went for Thai food. And then in the evening, I went out for dinner with my husband and the kids. And we went to this Italian restaurant in Toronto that I haven't been to in maybe over a decade. I used to go there more when my husband and I were dating, we would go for dinner there once in a while. But the kids have never been there. So we went there and it was delicious. And then I went for lunch with a girlfriend on the following day, and I was like, okay, I'm having a carb hangover. I need to just not have carbs. So we ended up going to a local restaurant nearby, and that was really fun. And then on Friday, I had some of my girlfriends over, and we ordered Thai food again. In fact, one of the reasons that I had gone, where's my dimensionals? One of the reasons that I had chosen to go for Thai food with my mom for lunch was because I wanted to scope out this place and make sure that it was good enough to order for dinner. So I ordered Thai food and had some of my girlfriends over, and it was just a really fun week. It was just super fun. So, so yeah, that was my week of birthday celebrations. So I had about 12 or 13 friends and family members over. It was the first time many of them were seeing our house in its renovated state. So before everyone came, I have so many floating shelves now. We have 9 floating shelves, 3 in the kitchen, and then 6, 3 on either side of our fireplace wall. And so I kept telling my husband, I'm like, I don't want those shelves looking empty. Like I need knickknacks. We joke about knickknacks. He's like, stop buying knickknacks. But then I said for my birthday, I just want to buy knickknacks for the shelves. So I styled the shelves. They look really good. I was very, very impressed with how they turned out. I had gotten all the inspiration from Instagram. So I love like seeing some of these home decor accounts on Instagram. And so I was saving photos and reels of styled shelves. And so they turned out pretty fabulous. So let me know in the comments if you want to see how I styled my shelves. I can share a before and after. I was really happy with how they turned out. Okay, so I've got my pumpkin. You can see that I've assembled that. So I took the larger piece and then added the smaller one over top with dimensionals. So you can see how cute that pumpkin looks. And I decided to do it in crumb cake. That's the thing with pumpkins, and it's especially the thing with paper crafting, is you can do them whatever color you want. You can do whatever color you want when you're paper crafting. There's no rule. There's no rule that pumpkins have to be orange. You can make them pink if you'd like. I mean, pink pumpkins would be super cute. And people paint pumpkins, so you really can make them whatever color you want. I am using this black and white gingham ribbon just to kind of stick with my black and white theme. Janice, I agree. Everybody should have a birthday week. Mine is coming to an end, I think. But I milked it for as long as I could. Okay, glue dots. So I am going to use my glue dots for, oh my goodness, what? Oh, there we go. I thought I'd lost my sentiment. I'm going to use my glue dots to stick down this ribbon. You guys know that I love to put ribbon behind the sentiment. It's my signature move. Okay, just going to straighten out the loops here. And then we're going to put hello right over here. I'm going to use a dimensional on one side. You want to see my shelves? Okay, sure. I will post them. I just take a good picture. I was going to take a picture yesterday, but there was like a pile of laundry sitting on the sofa, and you would have seen it in the picture. So I'm gonna finish folding the laundry and put it away, and then I'm going to take a picture of my styled shelves. I still need a few more knickknacks for my top 2 shelves. Like they're not, I don't know that I want to keep them empty, but I ran out of things. And when you're like styling like 9 shelves, you need a lot of things like vases and frames and things like that. So but yeah, I'll definitely share a pic. So that is most of the card is done. Just going to grab my, oh, hold on, let's put this on. We're going to put our insert in the middle of, the inside of the card, not the middle. I'm going to move this too. It's highly distracting. Okay. Judy is a friend who's a birthday month. Oh, my husband's not going to be too happy that you told me that, Judy. But you know what? I think that this year, I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm just kind of like shifting in terms of how I want to spend my time, how I want to spend, the moments that you want to create. And for me, it was really I just want to be around these special women in my life who just elevate me, who just have incredible energy, who I always learn from and just feel loved by. Hold on, what's happening here? Why is this crooked? Yeah, so If I could do that for a whole month, oh, that would be awesome. Okay, we are going to put some classic matte dots. So I love these dots. I was so happy they returned in our annual catalog. They come in 4 different colors. So there's white, very vanilla or off-white, and then we have a gray, like a basic gray, and then we've got black. So you can tell which color I seem to be gravitating towards. I'm going to just use my Take Your Pick tool. This tool is indispensable when it comes to paper crafting. I did a reel recently where I just talked all about the Take Your Pick tool and all the different things you can do. I called it the Swiss Army knife of paper crafting. So this is a must-have. So if you are planning out your next order and you don't already have this tool, you are going to want it in your life. I'm missing one of my dots on my other card. It must have fallen off. Hang on. There we go. Okay, here are the finished cards. So one says, "You are such a blessing." The other says, "Hello." I would love to know what you think. I always love seeing the hearts and the thumbs up to let me know that you like the card. And if you don't like it, don't feel free to not use one. But would love to hear in the comments if you like this card, if you could see yourself making it, or if you like the layout. Did you like the layout? And is this something that could help you with your own card making? I would love to hear. I know there's often a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to wait a moment to see if there are any questions or comments. I'll bring them up a little closer. All right, so you can see the 2 different patterns of paper and then the texture on the white cardstock there. I just think it's such a simple and cute card, and like I said, I love black and white with a pop of color. Janice, I know I'm such an enabler. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Darlene. Darlene loves the combo of yellow and black. I'm glad that you like it. And yes, Judy, very easy to duplicate. This is my I feel like this is my purpose when I come on these lives, is to share ideas that are easily duplicatable. So if you are looking for a card idea or a layout, go grab them. Grab the layout and maybe take a screenshot, and then grab your crafting stuff, and it'll take you like no more than 10 minutes to make. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments. I do come back to read them and respond to them. And certainly if you have any, if you are looking for any of the products that I used today, you can definitely go to zarapremji.com. And if you need help getting started with paper crafting and you're just trying to figure out like, okay, I need some basic stuff, where do I start? Let me know, and I am more than happy to help you out. So thanks so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic day and week ahead, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.